Hello there.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
I, what? Are we muted yet?
I can't hear Will.
Uh-oh. Am
Oh,
I
there you
muted?
are. Now I got you.
Oh,
Can you
here
hear
I
me now?
am.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah. Good. Good.
How's it going?
Oh, fine. Not a big deal, yeah.
Yeah. We had a pretty awesome weekend this weekend. I've had a pretty
Yeah.
awesome weekend. I had a great Sunday. I had a great day today until I'm gonna tell what happened to me here in a minute, but um we're a little late. I'm a little late. I got to the studio at 6:31. I'm supposed to be. I usually get here at like 6:15 somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, but anyways,
Well,
yeah.
so is it? I'll tell this story because it's happened this week. So like on Thursday, did I tell you this about my neighbor in my truck?
No.
I let my neighbor borrow my truck to put he had to put a hot water heater in his dad's house. Or
Okay.
no, his dad's like shop in Seward or something. And it's like an antique store or so I don't know. I've never been to it. My truck has, but he doesn't have a truck and uh he was like, "Hey, can I borrow your truck on Thursday to install this hot water heater?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's fine. The only stipulation is the back of it's full of brush and you have to empty all the brush somewhere." And I said, "Not in my driveway." So I, and you just dump the brush, you can borrow my truck. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal. So I guess I don't know if he hooked a trailer up to it or what, but he was backing into the alley at his dad's shop and he hit like one of those uh, like filled with concrete cylinder
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
wheels.
Yeah.
He
The Plex has those. It's to keep people from smashing their cars into our building.
Yeah, and he ran my truck into it. And he crushed in the right rear quarter panel like pretty big, like to the point it probably just needs a new box.
Right.
And
That sucks.
so he was like, so I was mowing my lawn, and he comes over. He's like, "Oh, sweet!" Like it's like there's gonna be something wrong. Like you just have that feeling. Like I was kind of dreading him coming home with it because I know that something's gonna be destroyed. And because it's just my luck. Like anytime I let somebody borrow something, it always comes back like broken.
Yeah.
So uh he uh he's like, "Hey, I got your truck, it's all full of gas." And I was like, "Okay, great." He was like, "But I ran it into something and ruined the box." I'm like, "What?" He's like he was like, "Yep, like crushed it, like ran into this pole or something." It's like, okay, let's go look at it. Like I didn't get mad. Like it's just stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's still just like, dude, I I told, and he was like, just give me an estimate. I'll give me an estimate from somewhere, and I'll pay the estimate like cash, and you can do whatever you want with the money. I'm like, okay. So I mean, my truck needs tires anyway, but
Mm.
uh, so I gotta go get an estimate tomorrow, uh, to see how much it's gonna cost to fix or whatever. But I'll probably end up and I'm not doing it through insurance. I told the place I'm taking it to, like, this isn't an insurance deal. Like, I'm not having my rate go up because of this guy or anything. Like,
Sure.
just pay out of pocket. And so I didn't want to just. He was like, "Well, I know a guy." I'm like, "Nope, sorry. Like,
Yeah.
I need a estimate and I need it done right. Like I'm not having a buddy look at this. This is totally gonna be somebody else that we both don't know.
Yeah.
Like, and you're gonna. I said I'm not worried about it because you're gonna pay me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and so and he's probably like, "Oh, that guy makes enough money. Nobody like it's not about that. Like that thing was a pretty cherry, like." It's an '07 Silverado. I mean, it's nothing to like show. It's not like a showpiece, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was a straight body, 20-year-old truck that's nice, and it only has like 120,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
Like I hardly ever drive it. I only use it when I need it. Like it's kind of like Like, I'm gonna take him the deal, and if he doesn't pay me, it's just gonna be like one of those like something comes up, it's gonna be like F you, pay me. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Goodfellas. You know, when they're you know?
Yep.
So I gotta deal with that. That's cool.
Lame.
Yeah.
I fell in a lake today.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I was
Man, I'd
late.
fall in the lake 3 times instead of dealing with this.
Yeah. Yeah. Your situation is much worse than my situation, but
Yeah.
I was
I was
out.
like, I told, because he took me to dinner on Thursday, and I told him, I was like, I'm not interested in losing a friend over what, $2,000? I mean, come on,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of money. I don't have $2,000 on me right now, but I can get it. It's like, it's not $2,000 ain't a lot of money, but it's still like just fix it.
Yeah.
You know.
It's a lot
Anyway.
of money. I had yesterday off. Scratch and I went hung out together for most of the
Yeah.
day, and then we stopped on the way home. I'm like, hey, can I check this spot out that I've seen on Google Earth? And she's like, yeah, okay, fine. So that's what we went and did, and I looked at it. And I'm like, I got all excited. So then, an hour later, I was at that spot for the rest of the night fishing,
Yeah.
and I caught a bunch of channel catfish. My first channel cats I've caught all year, and because our creek spot that we normally go to wasn't doing really good. That's where we usually catch them, and nothing this year so far. Even Emerson's been going out with his buddies.
Mm-hmm.
He says he's fishing. I hope he is, but they haven't caught anything. No pictures, no nothing. So,
How convenient.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I know. So this year, yeah. So this year, that's that, dude. But they're all nice. They're all like, if Gretchen would let me keep them, I'd eat them.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want me to have any fish guts anywhere near the house. So,
What?
yeah, it's
You can't just put them in a bag and put them in the garbage?
I know it's one of those quirks that you got. If you want to be happily married, it's one of those quirks you got to live with.
Yeah.
So, I was tempted to clean it like out there, and then just bring back the meat in a bag. Do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. Like not a huge fan of cleaning fish, anyways. But anyways, so I had tons of fun last night, and then Emerson and I were going to go to the river today. That was our plan. Neither of us woke up in time, and so I ended up going by myself back to that spot, and I had like 4 hours, and I was going to try to get out of there by 5, and I fell in the lake about 4:55, and it was, dude, it was warm water, so that was good. I could not believe how deep it was.
Yeah.
I've fallen into local lakes twice. This time and another time at the spillway at Chalco Hills.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't touch the bottom there either. And I was shocked. I was like, wow, I can't believe how deep that is right there. Same thing over here. It didn't look deep, but when I fell in, I'm like, my feet were down there and I didn't really feel anything. So so that was pretty crazy. And I got everything wet but up to here. So my head didn't go underwater, so I was pretty happy about that. Because like one of my biggest fears is getting a brain-eating amoeba.
Mm-hmm.
And you get it through stagnant, crappy water through your nose. So that's why I don't like swimming and in lakes and rivers and stuff, because that happened recently too. Or some kid in Elkhorn last year had that. You know how the people float down the Elkhorn?
Yeah, right.
A kid got a brain-eating amoeba here and died like last year.
What?
Yeah, seriously. So
was he like, I have a headache?
Basically, that's what happens. It all happens within very quick amount of time, and the poor kid died. I got like allergies in my eyes today. So anyway, so then I had to go home and take a shower. I wasn't planning on showering until I got home after this, but then I was like, I'm all lake water.
Yeah.
So then I didn't want to drive my truck because I was on empty, so I ended up riding my scooter.
Hey, you can dry off that way.
I lost my sunglasses. I'm pretty sure they were on my face or on my head, like up here. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure they're floating in the water somewhere.
Oh.
And the crazy thing is I didn't even think about it until I was halfway home.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, where's my sunglasses? And so I might go back tomorrow. Well, I can't go back tomorrow. I work all day. Anyways, I don't know. I don't have sunglasses now. I'm pretty butthurt about the whole thing.
Yeah. What would you do if you had a brain-eating amoeba?
Fucking die.
Really?
Yeah.
Like the next set.
There's
Dude, the next.
there's literally nothing you can do about it.
What? They can't just give you like some antibiotics and call it a
No,
day?
that's why it's so scary.
Huh.
You can't. There's no cure for it. Like
It reminds me.
there's Gretchen and I were listening to a podcast about it that she found, and it was like a 6-part podcast on brain eating amoebas, and yeah, like 0.2% people survive it.
Really?
And if they do survive, they're like brain dead.
Yeah. It reminds me of the brain eating or the brain slugs from Futurama.
Mm.
You remember that? You ever watch Futurama? Oh, they're like
I have, but
well,
not to the extent that you have.
well, like originally in the show that those were just going to be like everywhere, like on hanging on ceilings, and they just like fall off a ceiling and like land on your head. But there was it the one where Bender is in the robot fighting league. That was the episode, and Hermes has a brain slug on his head in the entire episode.
I'll have to go back and watch it. I've watched Futurama. I probably watched Futurama more than I watched The Simpsons.
Rama?
Futurama? Did I say Rama? Futurama?
Yeah.
I don't know. See, I'm gonna get made fun of.
Yeah. By me.
I've probably watched that more than The Simpsons, though. I think.
I don't know.
I think because it was on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I think that when it was on, like when I was in high school, I probably watched it more, just because the DVD box sets were like so much cheaper than Simpsons ones. Oh, but I mean, it was a really like honestly, like it should have just ended after the first like 4 seasons. Like the last episode, with like the holophoner and the robot devil, and Fry sells his soul to the robot devil to learn how to play the holophoner to impress Leela. That should have been like the last episode. Like that would have been perfect. But now it's kind of like a gag. Like it goes away and comes back. Like honestly, that's a funny enough gag as it as the show.
Yeah.
It's funny though to see the technology that we have now surpass a show that was supposed to be in the year 3000. Like 20 years ago, like the show, like 20 years ago, like there's already like tech that's like surpassed that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
like ChatGPT.
So what's that?
Like ChatGPT.
Well,
AI.
that or even just like audio visual formats.
Oh.
You know, like
sure.
They're still putting discs and stuff.
Well, it's the same way. It's the same way in Star Trek and Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but
like I watched Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 3 the other night back to back because I was bored and didn't have anything else to do. And they've got these little cassettes and they like fit them in there and
yeah. But like Star Trek, doesn't it have a year though?
Yeah, 2300 something.
But like
Stardate?
Yeah, but Star Wars has no year.
No,
and it's not even in this gap. Like.
Yeah.
In this timeline. So
yeah, that's true.
I mean, that's kind of like, it's like the Watchmen, you know, like where in the series, like what was it? Nixon was president twice, and like the entire timeline of technology changes where everybody has electric cars, but there's no cell phones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one small like thing can totally change that. So like with Star Wars, them, you know, I don't know. Putting discs in C-3PO or
yeah,
Jar Jar Binks like listening to a Zune, you know, like totally like changes a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
you know, like.
But yet they have projected holograms, you know.
Yeah, right. Well, we have that now.
Yeah.
Like. Didn't you go to the what was it, Tupac concert last week?
Coachella. Yeah.
You know?
That was several years ago, and I remember that being a big thing. You don't hear much about it anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah. I can't wait till I die and I have a hologram of me just like sitting down here.
I'm hoping
doing podcasts.
I'm hoping that within the next 30 years, because I'll be 74, like I would like to have myself uploaded into a computer.
Yeah, you gonna do Upload? Did you
Yeah.
watch that show, Upload?
No, but I'm just saying.
There's a show called
There
there's a show
is?
called Upload. Like if you're dying, like they like delete your head. Like your head gets what is it, evaporated, and it goes into Upload, and you live in this digital space. But like you
Yeah.
have to have enough money to live in the nice digital space.
Oh,
But then like the people that can't afford it, they only get like 1 gig of memory or 1 gig of data a month or a year or something.
Hmm.
And like every time you move, it uses up like data. So like you're pretty much in this terrible prison. There's a show on Amazon called Upload. You should watch it.
Okay.
Richard, have you ever watched it? Also, Richard, are you listening?
I
Because this is
am.
good content. Huh?
I am, and I have.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't have Amazon TV.
Oh, it's fine.
Prime.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
sure,
it's a
I'm
good
sure I could
show.
find a YouTube about it though.
Oh yeah,
For sure.
it's pretty cool. Like, there's this guy. Like, he got dirty double crossed, and like he was in this car accident, but he like wasn't even really hurt, and his girlfriend like talked him into going to Upload. Like, there's like two wings of a hospital. Like, there's the one where they fix you, the one where they upload you before you die. But then like it's really funny. Like okay, so like and he got uploaded and his head just like gets deleted. Like it just like there's these two like ray guns that go and like your head deletes and then like all like your information like evaporates and it goes into the upload. But then there's this guy that was going to come back from upload and have his like consciousness downloaded into a body,
Right.
and uh it was sponsored by Oscar Mayer, like a meat company, and his head explodes. Like he was
Oh,
alive for like 2 seconds and his head explodes.
I'll have to find it. I bet you I can find some YouTube content.
Yeah, it's an older show, so like you'd be able to find it. It was like I was laughing my ass off like when I saw that.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to find it. Hang on, because this is important for me. You see, you're already drinking something, so hang on a second.
Yeah, I'm having a Michelob. Oh yeah, you can hear the bubbles of Kickstarter goodness. You know.
So this is my new favorite. If I could find it everywhere, I might even drink this more.
What flavor is it?
This is strawberry lemon kickstart.
Wow.
It's really good.
You got your strawberry lemon in my Kickstart. Got your Kickstart in my strawberry lemon.
The only place that I can find this, ironically, is Casey's.
Ah.
And Casey's is almost always out of orange. So as long as they have this, I won't be making any cranky faces at everybody. But the other day they didn't have either, so whatever.
Yeah, making a deal with the devil there, going to Casey's, huh?
Yeah. Well, I like Casey's. It's just that the Casey's all over the place. They either don't have what I want or they're trying to force you to buy their brand stuff. I don't like it.
A deal with the robot devil, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but I saved it specifically for the show today.
Well, thanks for saving it. You know, I really wanted to hear you slurp on that.
Oh, it's so good cold too. That was worth stealing one of my wife's Camelbacks for for some ice.
You're like, oh, it's so good cold.
Oh. Well, okay. We had a long talk. That was a good talk.
Yeah, good talk, Russ.
I want to talk Nationals real quick. I screwed up. I was thinking that the Nitro Nats were the weekend of our Summer Series race for some reason, but they were actually the week before. And I got to watch a bunch of it. Emerson watched a bunch of it with me. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Mayfield is your Truggy champ, and Dakota defends his buggy champ.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome. That was a heck of a race. It's crazy how Kevin Jellick passes away like right afterwards.
Yeah.
That is pretty
I saw that.
devastating. And I have no idea how he died either. I don't.
Yeah.
Nobody's really posting about how. It's just that they can't believe that it happened. So I can tell you it is stressful running a national and being in charge of that stuff. So hopefully that wasn't it.
Yeah.
But that dude has made some killer racetracks. Like, I straight up tried to copy a couple of sections that he used to do at NorCal.
Mm-hmm.
Like the e-buggy nats in... They got the first one, so it would have been 2010. That track was sick. And they had all this space, and they had this big wall in the back, like that they could drive up against. I mean, and the jumps all were a certain way. So I tried to kind of copy that for a while.
Right.
And then I kind of integrated what he was doing. I never met the man, but I just saw all these tracks on YouTube that he was in charge of and stuff, and I tried to like integrate that style of flow, like was it the Nats before or after the Nats after our 09 Nats was leisure hours, so it would have been the 2000. When did they have the 10 scale Nats there at NorCal? Was it 08 or was it 2012 or 11? It was a while ago, so it's hard to think, but
I want to say 11.
Yeah, that track was sweet too. They had this uphill jump section into a landing with like a bank to it, and then you sent it down a straightaway that was rounded off.
Mm-hmm.
And those uphill jump sections might seem kind of familiar, because that's something I've tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you go back and watch those vids for inspiration. So. And speaking of which, I mean, I thought the track was amazing. I know other podcasts have already kind of covered the Nats and stuff, so I don't want to get too deep into it. But I thought the track was really cool. I thought the pit lane exit was part of me doesn't know what the big deal was. Because sometimes when you build a track, you're like, oh shit, we got pit lane. Let's figure out how to make it work. Like you have to make sure that no matter what, the exit lap, the pit lap can't be faster than a regular lap.
Right.
So you have to do some stuff like that, make them turn, and go back.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we haven't done it in a long time because we've had a front straightaway, but I can tell you that next year we're having a back straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have to get kind of creative with our pit lane, I saw that Jared Tebow rocked it in Truggy. I think he did. He ended up finishing actually pretty good in Buggy too, I think, if memory serves me correct. But he TQ'd around a Truggy, and then I think he was running 10 minutes because they were doing 10-minute qualifiers, so he didn't have to pit. And Adam Drake kind of did the same thing all weekend because he's like the god of fuel mileage. Our boys, men, whatever. Seth Van Dalen qualified second, got a top 5. And then Mason Fuller, I believe, got the bump and kind of finished back there, but making the A-main again at a Nationals in either Truggy or Buggy is still a huge deal. So even though I'm sure Mason's pretty butthurt he didn't finish in the top 5 or top 3, I think that still. But he did get a top 5 in Buggy. So, but Dakota pretty much looked unstoppable again with Buggy, and Mayfield finished exactly one lap off. And it's crazy how those guys push that pace. I mean, we've seen it here at the Techno Series. And I watched the race, and honestly, the buggy main got kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like, okay. The truggy main was exciting, especially the last, 10 minutes or so. But because I thought Jared was going to win that, actually, for a little bit. But it's kind of the same old top three: Dakota, Ryan, Spencer. But then Jared Tebow finished fourth, and I'm sure he was pretty stoked about that, being his last national event that he's going to go to.
Right.
Fuller got a top 10. How about Jared Wiggins finishing sixth up there, and Brandon Rose qualifying pretty much straight there and staying there. Van Dalen made the main again. I think that's one of Seth's better national events that I can remember. So overall, just pretty fun, and it's good to see our local, I call them local, Techno Series guys kind of up there doing their thing. So Gas Nats was sweet. Now they got they still have the e-buggy Nats, the Visions race in 2 weeks. What's today? 8 days.
8 days.
Yeah. So
that'll be a cool one.
Yeah.
If I was doing 8 scale right now, I'd probably try to go to that.
Yeah. It's crazy. I know some people that do like what do they call the side by sides?
Oh, the UTVs?
UTV racing and stuff, and they go down their divisions a lot. Or the place, just the place in general. What's that place called? I can't remember.
The event or the area?
The actual,
where is it located at?
See, now you got me on the spot. Hang on. I'm going to go back. What I need to do is go back to here.
All right, 1 second.
Something Mid-America something? Is that right?
Mid-America Complex?
I thought that was the name of our Visions Off-Road Championship. Mid-America Outdoors. There you go. God. Super huge brain farts going on. Anyways, I got a couple of Facebook friends that go down there and run not RC stuff, but the other type of racing that they do down there. They do just like everything. So Will had to leave for a second. Look at that. He's got an RC10 back there. I think we talked about that before. Tires. I see the J Concepts race. An award probably for maybe truck. Maybe there you are.
Yeah, I had to go pee since we started.
You had to pee, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Mid-America Outdoors, Visions Off-Road, and like I said, I've got a couple friends who go down there for stuff beyond RC, so that'd be kind of cool.
RC and beyond.
I want to race e-buggy again really bad. I just the money to get one and get it all set up the way that I want to get it set up is just kind of out of reach at the moment. If I wasn't going to Worlds, maybe.
I'm racing oval instead of 8 scale.
Yeah, I know. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna get that a Gamma car, dude.
Yeah, that'd be cool just to try. It's something different.
Yeah, or just something unique to have. I think would be really neat.
I don't know if it's like industry changing, but it's nice to see somebody try something that hasn't been done for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, the cantilever or whatever you want to call it, that inboard suspension has been done it's been done probably a dozen times on different platforms. But
yeah. I don't know. I think on a track like ours, in the wintertime on clay tires, where it's not super rutted usually, or bumpy. It's not even super bumpy for an 8 scale.
Yeah,
I think that car would be pretty strapped as long as it holds together.
Yeah. Is it Ryan Clemmy?
Yeah.
He's the Gamma guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he gonna have one?
I think so, yeah.
You should try to drive it.
I probably will try to drive it.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd let you drive it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I decided to go no major sponsors or anything back in 17.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was driving that year. I was driving everybody's car, and
Yeah.
my fastest laps was with the Agama
Yeah.
back then. But back then, I believe it was the clone of the Losi car.
Right.
So I think that's what
You
it
didn't
was.
like my Associated when you drove it?
Not really.
Really?
No, I
What
was.
year was that?
It would have been
18?
17 and 18. Yeah,
Yeah, it's the year I won e-buggy.
yeah. I I had it narrowed down to hot bodies or an Agama, just based on lap times. I was driving everybody's car in practice.
Yeah. I thought you drove mine and really liked it.
I I actually had an Associated e-buggy for a short period of time back then.
You did?
I did. I ended up turning around and selling it like within a week.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh.
I probably
I
didn't
didn't
tell
know
you.
you bought one.
I did.
Huh?
I can't remember whose it was either.
I thought you had a Mugen.
I did have a Mugen.
Oh, you had an Associated then
And I
a
had an
Mugen?
Associated e-buggy there for a little while too, and I think within like a week or two, I ended up somebody was trying to get into e-buggy, and I was like, "Well, I'll sell you my car."
Yeah.
So I think I broke even on it altogether.
Yeah.
But
Which is
no,
nice.
yeah, that is nice when that happens. I think I kept the batteries though. Oh, that's who did I bought that from? I'm pretty sure I brought the car from. Oh God, what's his name? Why am I blanking on his name? This is a weird show because I've been blanking lately.
Yeah, this is the
kid-
blankety
The
blank
kid
show.
from Minnesota. Dude, I suck. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Let's move on to something that is on everybody's mind right now that's watching. There's 19 people watching the show right now. We thank you 19 people for watching the show live.
Mm-hmm.
And that is our summer series.
Mm-hmm.
So, what'd you think of the track change?
Oh, I liked it. It's fine.
Yeah.
No complaints.
That's similar to what I was going to have for the ProTech race originally,
Mm-hmm.
minus the whoops.
Yeah.
The whoops was like, what are we going to put here? And then I looked at how much dirt I have, and I was like, well, I don't have a whole lot of dirt, so that's how that came about. But yeah, that was the longer lane before the elevated corner and stuff. That was all ProTech race originally, and then I did an audible because I was going to save it for like a track change.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So
I
liked how you came around that first tabletop and you turned and went over the second tabletop that used to be a tabletop where you cut back. If you did it right, you could land right in a little pocket and just let off the gas, and your car would float over that little baby double and right into the 180.
Yeah.
And when you got it good, it was awesome. And when you didn't get it good, you blew the corner. So I like that a lot. Track didn't come in very quickly, which was weird.
No, that was weird. It was just like it didn't take rubber at all. Like all the dust we were blowing off is all rubber.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It did rain a lot. I mean, it's so weird. We didn't get any rain for almost the entire month of May, and then June 1st comes, and we've had rain almost every day.
Yeah.
Up until
I wonder if like the
moisture
moisture was coming up through the track and then just making it so it didn't take rubber. I don't know.
Something weird was going on.
I mean, the grip was fine. I kind of like over prepared the other direction, thinking we'd have high grip, because of how warm it was. But the rain didn't really gel with that.
Yeah.
So like I had sidewall stiffeners and stuff in my car, and I kind of wish that I had it kind of detuned or like not detuned, but I didn't have those in it for the main.
Yeah.
It was like my car was just kind of like slow turning and stuff. Like it was almost a detriment to have it. It was too comfortable. It's like the way to describe it.
Last month I didn't run. Last month I had pre-mount fronts that I just glued the sidewalls on, and just hoped that I could survive. And they actually worked pretty darn good. And then my 4-wheel drive I had the stiffeners in, but I was running blown out tires still. And then this time I had new tires for everything. and I only ran them twice in practice, and then I threw on old tires
Mm-hmm.
on both cars. But I had the stiffeners in the front of the 4-wheel drive. But I had black foam, no stiffener in the front of my 2-wheel drive,
Mm-hmm.
and I like that a lot. With standard gray foam in the back,
Yeah.
I did like that a lot in my 2-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Man, I will say that by the time our mains came, I thought the track was back to being super high grip again.
Yeah, it wasn't as high as the last round though.
No, but
In the last round, my car was like a cat on Velcro.
yeah, but there was definitely some traction rolling going on again though.
Yeah, I think that a lot of it had to do with guys not being like prepared for more grip,
Mm.
and I think that the grip was higher than we had that day, but it was almost like that point where it needed to go up another notch, up to 11, and it was like your car would turn, but the rear tires would slide a little bit, and then they'd catch an edge, and that's why guys were grip rolling.
Yeah.
But
I
at
made
least that's
some
what I thought.
I made some changes to my stuff in practice, some minor changes, man. Like I went from 32 weight to 27 weight oil, and what else did I do? Oh, I wanted to see what happened if I lengthened my shock stroke in the back,
Mm-hmm.
and that was a big no.
Yeah.
I haven't done this in a while, but clearly, I'm not an engineer because that was stupid. Because I thought I ruined my car, so
Yeah.
I went back. I started changing it back, and I went shorter the other way. Like I put it an extra millimeter shorter for shock stroke, and I actually liked it. But I still felt like, wow, this car's still doing weird stuff. And then I went back to 30 weight oil, and I put the stroke back to where it was, and I actually kind of like that, and that's kind of where it was. Have you noticed too, like so normally I would set my ride height at 19, but every time that I set my ride height at 19, my car sucks. So
Yeah.
now and then I run down there and I lower it by hand. I don't even know what I'm lowering it to, but I just lower it a couple. So now I think I'm running like 16.
Yeah, I ran 15 and a half in the main.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Cause I'm like, my brain's telling me I shouldn't run it that low because it's dirt, but then we run it even lower on carpet,
Yeah. Well, like, what do we run on carpet? Like 11?
Yeah, like
No, that's 4-wheel. 14.
Yeah.
14 is what we run on
13,
carpet.
14.
It's like, yeah.
But I'm also running. So on my car, I'm running the diff at 2, and the outdrives at 1, or the hubs at 1.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys mixing those and stuff, and I don't know. I've tried it on 2-wheel. I didn't really like it.
Really?
But I think I went 3 and 1.
Mm.
Three diff height and 1 axle height, and I didn't really like that.
That was going to that for me. Made my car, when the grip was there, when the traction was there, made my car not want to roll over at that 180 after the straightaway.
Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. That's just what I found worked. So I just left it. But if I raise the ride height, then it wants to do it. It wants to just flip.
And see, like that could be like because the ride height's up more, the drivetrain binds differently. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the whole idea of moving all that stuff around is to get the dog bones level. Because I mean, if you think about it, like on the original, is it the original V6 that we had that adjustment, or is it the 0.1? Like, it was the original V6 because we had those. The diff wasn't adjustable, but the hubs were, and we'd mix those up all the time because you're essentially running 0 and 2 or 0 and 1. If you think about it that way. So.
Yep. So I don't know. I was struggling Friday with my 2-wheel drive just because I was like, oh no, I just ruined it. So I got to get back to where it was before I stop practicing, because then I'd be upset because I don't have time in the morning.
Yeah.
Kind of got lucky there.
Right.
And then I knew the track would finally sort of come in, so the tires would be there too. Brand new tires at second qualifier. My car was money.
Mm-hmm.
My 2-wheel drive was felt like my 4-wheel drive, where it's like cheating. So I didn't do anything in my 4-wheel.
Mm-hmm.
I topped out the rear diff again, and that's about it. New tires. So I'm telling you, man, it's pretty easy to race now at the Plex because it's silver slicks. You can still. I see people running treads, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But silver slicks seem to just stick with them and set your car up for it now, and
yeah,
super easy.
Right.
I don't even do you bust your tires anymore? Do you foam bust your tires?
I only get the foam buster out for oval, and that's only for low grip oval or like treaded oval. Like,
yeah, because last year at this time, we'd be foam busting, we'd be heat gunning, there'd be smoke everywhere, or drills going with rubber grags and all that stuff, and now we just mount them up and go.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Pretty nice. We had 177 entries, so that felt good. It felt like kind of back to normal for us because it was weird. First round, it was only 150 something. I think that had to do with the fact that we didn't have any tires.
Maybe. I think it was the first nice weekend.
That too. It was.
Yeah.
But
people that want to race, they're going to race.
Yeah. But if you don't have the right tires and you can't get any, you're going to struggle and you're going to be...
I just showed up no matter what and beg, borrow, and steal stuff and figured it out. Yeah. That's me, though.
Yeah. That's what it felt like to me, though, was because we didn't have any rears for sale, and I think a lot of guys sort of, I would say, not necessarily didn't prepare, but maybe tried to get tires too late.
Right.
So
maybe.
But anyways, it felt really good to have that many entries again. We still got done at a pretty reasonable time, if you think about it. I kept overestimating the done time. I thought we'd be done by 9:30. We were done like right before 10.
Mm-hmm.
But I always forget that we like take an extra minute or two between the races to take pictures, and you got to, if somebody does break in the main, you give an extra minute, that sort of thing. Independent, buggy, and 4-wheel drive was again our biggest class, biggest turnout, which is great. I love seeing that. It's weird. Mod 2-wheel drive almost only had one heat.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was able to split you guys up. I feel like qualifiers were better that way.
Right.
I'd love to have another 40-plus person somewhere come and race because we've had 11 both rounds. And if you put 5, our track's so busy now that 5 is not enough corner marshals. You need 8. So then you got to beg and borrow and steal to get people to go out there and marshal, and it takes time and slows the program down. And
right.
We don't need that. So we just threw everybody in together. I actually didn't mind it. I didn't even notice, to be honest with you, in 40 plus.
Yeah.
It was fine. Everybody drives really respectful because we're all old and we're supposed to be knowing what we're doing.
Right. A lot of you guys have been racing together forever.
That too. That's for sure. All right. Well, let's get to results. And there was some other stuff I wanted to talk about tonight, but now I don't remember what it was, so it doesn't really matter. Must not have been that important.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I want to talk about Summer Series and how awesome of a day it was. Plex Spec Beginner. So this was a great win for Ryan Nemec because he's got to miss a qualifier both rounds. The first round and this round, he had to miss like the first qualifier for baseball, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always a struggle that tracks have. And especially in the summertime, is that we're competing against kids sports and just nice days in general and stuff to do outside. Yeah. So
kids sports for both the kids and the parents.
Yeah, no kidding. So Ryan missed the first qualifier, so he was in the C sort, B sort. There was 11 and 10, whatever. So then, but his qualifier that he did make was good enough to get him up to 7th. He's got the potential to make like a TQ run or something like that. But in the main, he got a really good start. and then never really looked back. Max Camp qualified second, finished second. He got hung up in the first corner, big pileup in the first corner, and he was one of the cars that got hung up, and he ended up racing his way up there. Alex Eichler, I believe he led the first. I think he led the first lap, maybe. Where's he at? No, he shows he didn't lead. I could have swore he was leading. Anyways, it doesn't matter. He ended up third. I think he got around and got the good start. Ariana Smith, another one. She qualified eighth and finished fourth. She's got the potential up there, too. Pretty crazy. Jamie Peevler, it turns out something was broken on the front of his car. And so the fact that he finished fifth with a TQ, so he's get fourth place points, like, that's pretty good for driving with a broken car. But, man, I don't know what. So he did the same thing the first round, too. So David's going to have to, like, coach him a little about this because I remember the first round he did the exact same thing. He plunked it on the straightaway corner at the start of the race. In this one, I saw his car. It was pointed straight, and then as the tone was getting ready to turn, his wheels turned to the right as the tone was going, and he gunned it, and he turned right into the end of the straightaway. And he caused a big Plex Spec first pileup melee. And but he did drive his way back to fifth. So
Right.
Isabella McMullen, I'm pretty sure she led for a while, actually, and ended up finishing sixth. She had some pretty terrible luck there right at the end. But that whole group, we're kind of back to this situation, in my opinion, where Plex Spec, like you could say that, like, the top six here could win this race at any point. Like,
Right.
all of them. Like, it's crazy. They're so similar and so close. And then Bentley had a good main event.
Yeah.
So Bentley qualified sixth, finished seventh, but that was really good for Bentley. He's getting better. Haley Hensley, Connor Herrick's girlfriend, pretty sure. She got the bump and finished eighth. And then Daniel Tyree, his truck, I'm pretty sure it broke. And then Bo Sheffield broke at the first corner, I believe.
Yeah, he broke a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I think his car ended up in that melee at the start, and
broke a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, broke a bunch of stuff.
I wish that, like, I mean, I get it, it's Plex Spec, but I wish, like, I felt like everybody felt. I wish that the drivers driving Plex Spec felt like everybody was trying. You know, like, not necessarily like not caring, but like trying to get better.
Oh, well, I think they are. I just think, like, in this instance, you get a pile up in the, like, not even the first corner, like on the straightaway.
Yeah.
Because of something weird in the front of Jamie's car.
Right.
And it causes a lot of people in the back to come around and pass a bunch of cars, and it causes everybody, but it also causes, second and third to get hung up and have to make their way back to it. It's kind of like motocross this weekend. There was a huge pileup in the 250 start, and it cleaned out. And it cleaned out like 3 or 4 of not the first place driver, because Hunter. I think it did. Hunter Lawrence might even gotten caught up in that. Anyways, it's kind of like that. It's like that was just a weird start. It just made things very chaotic until it kind of settled down. So, and unfortunately, I think Bo just ended up being on the wrong end of that one. Yeah. But I don't know. I think these kids, they all want to win. I know, I can tell you that much.
Yeah. Right. No.
And I think they will. I think they'll, not to say take it seriously, but I think.
Yeah.
I mean,
look at Alex
Eichler. Alex Eichler's learning how to drive more with other cars.
Oh yeah.
And that kid's starting to have some vision now too. He can kind of sense when something crazy is going to happen in front of him. I see him sort of checking up or using a different part of the track to get around,
Mm-hmm.
So I see the improvement with all these Plex Speckers.
Right.
So, but good win for Ryan, because that puts him right back in the points. So that's That's pretty solid. Even Jamie having a bad run there, 5th, but he gets fourth place points. Boy,
Yeah. Right. No. Yeah.
fourth place points. What the
Right.
hell? Oh, all right. Stadium truck was next. You are retired, so this this field is wide open. So you're like, I don't know, you're like the overseer of stadium.
Yeah,
truck
I went
here.
out on top, man.
Yeah. Owen
I
Van,
just kind of do that with classes that I win.
right?
Like I did that with electric 8 scale. I've done that with 4-wheel drive. I've done that with a bunch of stuff. It's just like,
Yeah.
You know, like I did it.
Yep.
So.
Owen Vanderbeek got the win. He had a fast truck. He probably should have TQ'd, but just bad luck in that second qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Williams got second. He had weird qualifying and he had to come from 7th, but I believe he was up there pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was. Dustin Hosick probably actually had the second fastest truck maybe of this whole thing. And
Dude, he was doing good.
Probably should have won it, or at least, I don't know. His race sort of like about halfway through kind of got crazy, but he was able to drive back up and get that 3rd place position.
Yeah.
Connor Herrick finished 4th. Emerson qualified. He TQ'd the round 1. He got super lucky that everybody crashed in round 2, and he led this race for almost the whole way. The last 4, he led this race until the last 4 laps. So these guys did 20 laps, and he led for 16 of them. I think his truck was starting to get hot. He's borrowing a motor, and I think it's kind of an older, tired 13.5 motor.
Yeah.
And when Owen caught him, I mean, he was obviously slower than Owen, and so he was doing all he could to stay in front of him. He ended up, I watched the replay, he ended up just running into stuff again, because I think Emerson was getting kind of frustrated, and he ended up popping a ball cup off, just like at Hoosier.
Yeah.
But weird thing about ball cups Saturday, because this is the first of several ball cups, but we put Yokomo ball cups on that truck because we were popping them off so much, and that's the first time that's happened on that vehicle since.
You put associated ball caps on it, and then put titanium associated ball studs
Right.
on it.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
it's like dude, you do that, you will not have any problems.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed.
He did hit stuff pretty hard.
Okay.
In the main. I mean, but yeah, I know. But those Yokomo ball cups though, they've been good to him. I mean we put them on before hobby action.
Right.
Let's see where we at. So he got 5th. He gets 4th place points because he got the TQ. So and he broke out around 1 on the first lap. So truck's kind of gonna be tough if he's gonna need to TQ and win the next 3 to try to get back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Andrew Thomas finished 6th. I believe he had a pretty good first round too. So, I can look at the points, but 6 is not bad, but it's not really good either. Dalton Conrad 7th, Brian Byrne 8th, Connor Hausch 9th, and Anthony Santee. Connor and Anthony got the bump and finished. They swapped spots. So Connor qualified 10th, finished 9th. Anthony qualified 9th, finished 10th. So, but that's pretty exciting. 8 minutes is a long time for those big trucks. And again, if you got a motor that might be old, and kind of tired, it's going to be tough. So Emerson and I are going to have to work on that. 4-wheel drive mod was the next main event to come up, and there were nine mod 4-wheel drives again, so nobody had to worry about making the main here. But Mason Herrick came up from Kansas and got the TQ and a win.
Mm.
And I believe your mod 4-wheel drive points are kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Because there's like Riley won the first one from 4th. Alex TQ'd round. I think Alex TQ'd round 1 and finished 2nd here. So he's but I think the points are going to be all over the place. Right now Mason has the advantage because he got a TQ and a win here in this one, but still.
Yeah.
Vanderbeek had a rough day, weird day in qualifying. He had the speed, just couldn't put those laps together. But he did end up finishing 2nd, and he was only 1.5 seconds off of Mason. Owen Vanderbeek from 7th qualifier up to 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
And he was running. He was running down some cars out there, and he
was doing good.
He almost had his brother there midway through, like covered,
yeah,
and then not, but still. Once Alex was able to finally get away, he kind of pulled away from him there. But boy, good finish for Owen. I mean, I remember just a couple of years ago, like he was in the F main of 13.5 4-wheel drive at trackside.
Yeah,
right.
Oh,
now he got the podium here, so the Vanderbeek lineage continues.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Reuben King, 4th. Nick Gibson, 5th. Nick came up from Kansas City. It's good to see that. I think if you want to race 10 scale in our local area and you want to be with the fastest, you got to come to the Hobbyplex in the summertime.
Yeah.
Filbert Riley finished 6th, and then you had Seth Curtis and Mitchell Pavel. I think Mitchell broke something. Can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure it broke. So 4-wheel drive is pretty fun, pretty entertaining. Basically a rematch coming up in 2-wheel drive. Stock buggy. So, I think stock buggy's gonna, unless these guys start to pick it up a little bit behind him. I think stock buggy's pretty obvious is going to come down between Riley, Caden, and Emerson, at least right now.
Mm-hmm.
Riley has the advantage right now because he got a TQ and a win, and Riley drove basically a perfect race in this. Like, he never really had a mistake. He was patient through traffic, never got caught up in anything, and because of that, all the boys behind him, they had to push, and because they had to push, they crashed a little bit here and there,
Yeah.
So Emerson had the speed. I got him a new motor, just because his car looked tired on the straightaway last time. So I wanted to see if we could find something. So I got him a slot machine.
Oh yeah.
Like the matched team edition one.
Oop.
Yeah. So his car is definitely faster. I mean, I could see it. I could definitely see it. Plus, we messed with gearing and stuff. He practiced a couple times in the week, and we were messing with the gearing in that car and trying to get it to where he liked it. And he did it himself. He didn't need me. He just told me what he's geared at. I'm like, well, you should try this, this, and this, and that's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He qualified 2nd, but just crashed too much, honestly. Ended up finishing 3rd. Caden Berding, your Pro Tech winner, finished 2nd. So Emerson's got a win and a 3rd. Caden's got 2 seconds and a TQ, and Riley Filbert's got a TQ and a win and a 3rd. So I'm pretty sure the points are. I think Riley's got the 1 point lead between the three of them. Then you got Andrew Thomas finishing 4th, TJ 5th. Those are the two that moved up from independent. Andrew didn't have to. He's not sponsored by anybody, but he is because he's clearly fast enough. Like, he's a threat in 4-wheel drive too.
Yeah.
Of course, TJ is now an associated driver, regional driver, so he's running 5th. Bradley Peterson, first time back since running e-buggy at the Techno Series, or 8 scale, not e-buggy, but just 8. I said that in the race too. He qualified 8th, but he started to get it figured out. He finished 6th. He's a previous 13.5 Summer Series champ from a couple years ago, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Also had a little baby.
No, yeah, he did.
Bradley and Lexi
at the track.
had a baby. So the baby got its first day at the track on Saturday.
Yeah. Nice.
Dude, there was one time he had her, I think it's her, in his arms, and he was going down the cliff to marshal a car. And I thought to myself, oh God, don't do that. Like, what happens if you trip? I'm like, next time, make somebody else marshal. Like, he wasn't marshaling during a race, it was during practice. But I was like, oh God, like, don't do that. It's freaking me out, man. Like, we've already had a kid break its leg. I'd hate to see a baby get tossed.
Yeah.
You know?
We're like hit with a car.
I mean, sometimes I say I want to kick a baby, but I'm not meaning it literally.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
I don't say that, though.
I do.
No.
If I'm mad, it's one of the things I say. I say, I'm going to kick a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that from, but I don't mean it, obviously.
South Park?
Could be South Park. Kick the baby.
Hmm.
Daniel Bender, 7th. David Piefler, 8th. Chad King, 9th. And Brian Cox making one of his 3 mains here, finishing 10th. Chad and Brian got the bump. So, stock buggy's going to be fun between those 3. I think it's going to come down to those 3, unless something really weird happens.
Yeah, Riley was trying to talk me into racing stock. And I thought about it, like, as a second class, because I'm not running one right now. Like, that would be kind of an easy to run second class, like, just share tires and parts and everything. But I don't know. It's like,
I have no interest at all in running stock personally. 13.5 4-wheel drive is stock, but it's fast enough. The lap times are similar to mod buggy, so that's why I like it.
Yeah.
And you're not breaking your car or going. I mean, you're not running a mod, so it's just different. But stock buggy, I don't have any interest in.
Yeah.
The last time I raced stock buggy was the regionals that we held like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, or 3 years ago. God, that was a while ago.
I haven't raced
4 years
stock
ago.
buggy since 2010, 2011 maybe, probably 2010. And it's like, I only raced like 3 races. That was it.
Yeah, I just don't have any interest there in that. I just like going fast with my mod.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Although stock buggy times are almost the same, the fast guys can do almost the same time or faster than
now.
we are.
Yeah.
You know, at least at the moment.
That's why at like raw races they call it 17.5. They don't call it stock.
Right. Yeah, I know. I like spec. I like calling it spec because at least it's not stock. It's spec.
Right.
But we don't really have anything on our track at the moment that differentiates mod and stock, so the lap times can be very similar. You know.
Right.
That'll change in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Independent stock buggy. So Dalton Conrad here got a TQ and a win.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Brett Nelson got another second. I think he either won round 1 or got second in round 1. So, and then John Berding got third in this one. So I think, and I'm not putting anybody down in independent buggy, but it's kind of like stock buggy. I think the title for this year will probably come down to one of these 3. I think that's my thought on this one. I think it's starting to get figured out. That being said, Connor Hausch obviously has the speed too. I should probably lump him in there. And again, I'm not putting anybody else down. I'm just saying that based on the first 2 races, this seems to be the trend. Josh McMullen finished 5th. Anthony Santee was 6th. Corey Tannehill finished 7th. Justin Stevie was 8th. Jake Poteet was 9th. And he's got a pregnant wife at home. So he might miss another round. That's just just another thought since we're talking about babies. And then Darren Ryder got the bump and finished 10th. So I think I want to say I might have been getting my car for this one.
Who?
For independent buggy.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, the points I think it's probably going to come down to I would actually throw Connor Housh in there too, but based on the first round and then this round, like I think that's the same top three. So
And who won?
Dalton,
Nice.
yeah, Dalton's the other one of our kids that are all kind of the same age. That
Yeah.
some of them split off into expert because they were all running independent last year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I love seeing like Dalton and Andrew Thomas do well.
yeah, well Dalton, and then the cool thing is Dalton's a previous Plex Spec winner too.
Right.
So I think it's not last year's summer series; it's the year before that.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, it would have been a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Because that's when they started traveling and going to some races.
Sometimes all the years kind of blend together.
Right. Well, we've been doing it for so long.
I know. Team Associated's been the sponsor for 10 years.
I know. It was pretty cool, though.
It is pretty cool. All right, 40 plus. So first-hand knowledge of this one. So there was 11 of us, so I threw all 11 of us in the main. Obviously, it's no fun having a 3-car B main, so.
No.
And their track's big enough for we can handle 11. 12's a lot. 12 starts to get a little crazy.
Yeah.
So I got a TQ and a win, but I had to earn this one because I popped a ball cup off on like lap, I don't know, 5, 6.
Yeah, it was like a minute or two in.
Yeah.
It wasn't very far into the race, but it was a quick. Whoever popped that back on,
Jake
did it quick.
Yeah, Jake saved my race for me. Jake Conrad.
Yeah, he got it done.
So here's the thing. This is why, if you're listening to the show, you should always do this for maintenance, okay? This is why we sell ball cups. I popped a ball cup off in practice Friday. I actually messed up the steering one and the camber one. Remember when I was practicing, I rolled it over to you and you put it back on?
Mm-hmm.
So I was going, this is when I made some changes and my car was crappy. I was going down the straightaway and I tapped the brakes ever so slightly and my car literally just turned right in the pipe and I popped a ball cup. I bring that car back in after you put the thing on and both of the tie rods are bound up. They're not moving.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what the hell? And so I grabbed some pliers and I kind of shook them around and I got them loose again. And I should have at that moment changed both my ball cups.
No.
But I didn't. But I didn't do it. I'm going to get schooled.
Hold on.
He's going to get something.
So like right here, I got my polishing kit. There's a bag with stuff in it. So I open up my polishing kit. This is what I use on my hinge pins and ball studs. I use Flitz polish. This stuff. You can get it on Amazon.
Flitz polish, okay.
Use that. And then this is the rag you keep in your little polishing kit. It's a piece of a microfiber cloth. Look at all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is all just polishing. It's all I do with this rag. What you do is you polish your ball studs. Take them out. I guarantee the ones on your car, because you never like polish anything on it, or
no, I never do.
Are all like you look at them, they're all like dull and black, and
yeah,
like they get dirt in there, and it just like stays. So you do this, it keeps your car from binding up and flipping over. Like, and the reason is, like, I'll grab my car. Here's my car. Okay, so when you turn all the way, you go all the way this way. This is the outside corner. This is all bound up. Well, this is part of your suspension, your camber link, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this turns and it, locks up and binds. Well, now you have no suspension. What happens?
Right.
This is all bound up. It makes it so your shock does nothing. It drives the tire into the track super hard and flips over. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you guys who don't polish anything or get the fit and finish right on your car, like, makes your car do weird stuff. I can't drive a car that does weird stuff. I'm not good at it. That's why I have to work on this stuff to make my car super good so I can even drive it.
Yeah.
Like I'm good at having a good car. Like that's what I'm good at. Okay. So like it's like you say stuff's popping off. It's because the stuff binds up. You turn, you hit stuff, and it binds, and then it pops off because it's got nowhere to go. It can't deflect anything.
Right.
Like I tell people this all the time. It just like falls on deaf ears because it's like too much work.
I'm gonna listen. I will get some polish and I will polish my balls. I promise.
Yeah, that I want to be able to eat off of them. You know.
Yeah, I will polish my balls. I'm gonna change my ball. I'm gonna change my ball cups on my car this week before the next club race and get that fixed. But I popped it off in practice and I didn't replace them because I didn't do it. I was just lazy.
Dude, like, what was it? Lyman, Matt Lyman. He was the guy that taught me at Fast Lane at the Invite. I just take like in between rounds. I was just taking my car apart and polishing ball studs and ball cups. And he was like, I think he took a picture of me and said, "You'll never outwork Will Brinton."
Yeah,
like that's where that comes from. Is from Matt Lyman because like I'll like literally I don't change anything on my car. I do nothing but like maintain it. Like I have like 2 setups. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm good at having a good car. So anyway.
Yeah. I'm really religious about my like transmission differential parts, but I definitely slack off when it comes to the rest of the car. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Like every time, like for these series races, every time I like race my car, I have new like O-rings in my shocks.
Mm-hmm.
Like and like everything's just new all the time, except for the drivetrain. Like you want that broken in.
Yeah.
But I'm always like maintaining it. Like I'm cleaning it. Like before the main, I clean my drivetrain, and I polish before the main, I polish my ball studs and stuff. So like these have one run on them. You already hear them squeaking, like when it was sitting on the ground. Well, now you can't. But anyway,
I kind of heard it. That was weird.
right there.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
one run.
Squeak.
Like, dude, it changes. I guarantee if I pull those apart, like it's got wear and like the ball studs have like black marks on them.
Yeah.
So, but like people don't change their ball cups enough. Like, if you want to make your car feel like a new car, replace all your ball cups.
Yeah.
And I swear by the titanium ball studs that Associated sells. Like, yeah, they cost more. You only get like 2 of them in a bag for like, what, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks.
$11, $11.99.
$11.
Yeah.
You get 2 of them in a bag. But you know what? Like, you take care of them and make sure they're clean. Like the last year, the whole life of the car, and they fit the ball cups so much better.
Yeah.
Than the stock ones, and that's true with any of the cars.
Yeah.
Like Losi, Yokomo, X-Ray. Like take your pick. Like the titanium stuff is machined to a higher tolerance. So if you think about it that way, all of them are that way. It's not just one company.
Right.
But man, even Spencer said that. Who
Yeah.
was it? Like I went to a gas truck race, and I think Chad Parks popped off a ball cup, and he asked me if I'd ever had that problem. I said no, but I never ran my car with the stock ball studs. I always ran the titanium one, so I've never popped one off. When's the last time I popped off a ball cup?
I can't remember.
Never. I've never had that happen before. Like even when I was running Durango stuff.
Yeah.
In 2011, I've never had a ball cup come off ever.
Now that you say that, you know that's gonna happen next week
I know.
or something.
Wait, I got wood. I got some wood. Hold on.
Yeah, hold on.
It's not gonna happen like during a heat race or something. It's gonna be during like a main I'm leading. So
Yeah.
here we go. There's the wood. I'm knocking on it.
Yeah.
All right.
So I popped off the same ball cup in the main and got it put back on by Jake, and then I was able to kind of drive just hammer down, not making mistakes. And I was picking off Tommy a tenth or two at a time, and there was still 5 and something minutes left in the race. So it kind of reminded me of the INS race last year, where I had that horrible start, and then I just was like, I still got 7 minutes. Let's go get these guys, you know?
Yeah.
So caught up to Tommy, and then we had like this epic 2-lap finish. Probably, honestly, it's the best race Tommy and I have had since we were kids.
I didn't know who was gonna win.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And I was so happy that it, like it was Tommy, because Tommy and I, it would have been the same way with Mac too. Like, we are able to race each other, like pass each other and race and give each other room to race. That's what made that finish so fun, was we didn't really take each other out.
No,
He finally crashed on the second little tabletop going downhill. His car just sort of donkey flipped over that, and that was the end of it. But for about a lap and a half there, it was super fun.
Yeah.
And I didn't know, because we caught up to traffic too, and I had to kind of avoid it. And so he got back inside of me, and I'm like, all right, here we go. Last lap pass sort of thing, and this is going to be fun. And I don't know. It was pretty intense. Right. It was fun.
Oh, yeah.
So Tommy finished second. So, and then Mac finished third. Mac had a horrible start. And he passed Brent Riley, it looks like. And they finished 0.6 of a sec. So you had me and Tommy having a really epic race. It looks a lot closer than what it was a lot closer than what the time says.
Mm-hmm.
But Mac and Brent also had a really close race. You were announcing, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. For the main.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was going on between Mac and Brent? Mac was working his way back up through the field, I know, right?
Yeah, I was watching you and Tommy the whole time. I didn't even realize anything was going on. Like, we had two pretty big races going on, but yeah, both those guys like raced to the line, and Mac ended up getting it.
0.6 of a second is pretty close. That's pretty cool. I'll have to go back and watch the live stream. I actually haven't watched this race. I watched the 4-wheel drive race a couple times, but not this one. So Brent got a 4th. Brian Burnt got 5th. Peevler 6th. Brian Cox. Orlando Martinez. Matt Robinson 9th. Kurt Benson 10th. Corey Tannehill looks like he broke out. That's a bummer.
Mm-hmm.
So points. Because I'm going to miss the last one because I'll be at Worlds. So I only have 4. So my drop is a 0. So I can't afford to have a bad race.
Right.
When I popped that bulk up, I was like, oh, crap. Here we go. But whatever. It worked out.
Yeah.
4-wheel drive independent. We had Don Drews with the win. Brett Nelson 2nd. Dalton Conrad 3rd with the TQ. Josh Havens, which I think this is one of his best finishes since kind of coming back into RC car racing. He was out for a little while. John Berding 5th. Ronnie Wint, Connor Hausch, Matt Robinson, John Haas, and Jake Poteet. John Haas got the bump. Qualified 9th, finished 9th. Connor Hausch got the bump and ended up 7th. So that's pretty cool. And I think points in this one are probably going to be all over the place too, because I'm pretty sure Brett either finished first in this one or second, and I'm pretty sure Dalton either finished first or second last round. So that'll make things interesting now as we await round 4, which is the end of July. It's a ways off. 13.5 4-wheel drive. So apparently there was a bet or a pool being taken up for Emerson to take me out. Emerson said he owed me one because I apparently he thinks I took him out in the Protec race, and he did not make the A main in the May round in 4-wheel drive. So we've been working on it. He's been working on his 4-wheel drive. I've been sort of giving him ideas on what to do to get his 4-wheel drive better, so that he could be up there again, because he straight up won on a club race in April with a big turnout too. I think there was a C main that day, and he smoked us. So, I knew he had the goods. I was able to get the TQ, but barely. I mean, we're talking like within tenths of seconds over Emerson. Emerson started second, Caden started third. So it was kind of working out to be like, oh crap, all right, Emerson's gonna run me over, and then he's gonna laugh about it afterwards. So I got a good start. Emerson got a good start. I actually let Emerson go like 3 laps in, I think, because he was faster than me, and I didn't want to get taken out because I'm points racing. again because I'm going to miss a round. So I let him go, and I was like, well, if I finish second, he finishes first, it'll be a wash for the round. He's already got a bad round. I don't. So I was kind of playing strategy.
Yeah.
In a way. So he led a good chunk of this race, and then he made a mistake, and I got a round, and I had a pretty big lead, and then Emerson started chipping away at it, and I don't know what was going on. My car felt fast. I felt like I was going fast, but the lap times weren't showing it. The lap times were saying I was going slow.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what was going on there. So Emerson one lap knocked a whole second off. Like I thought I was going fast, but I only did it 22.4, and then he did it 21.4 that lap. So he caught me on the last lap, and he punted me off the track coming down the wall, the cliff. We were coming down the cliff, and when he landed, he gave it throttle and he didn't let off, and he punted me right into the pipe. But he crashed into the pipe too. Caden was already done, so that was it. It was Emerson or me. One of us was going to finish first, one of us was going to finish second. So it didn't really matter at that point. I'm glad he waited till then because, again, if I finished second, I wasn't going to be super butthurt about it.
Mm-hmm.
I went around, didn't need a marshal. Emerson really didn't need a marshal. He monster jammed his way back onto the double. I landed in front of him, turned into the whoops. He passed me in the whoops, but then I'm like, well, it's on. So I full throttled into him, exiting the whoops, and I pushed him into the wall, and I pushed myself into the wall. He collected himself. We went down the straightaway, and I passed him on the berm at the end of the straightaway to take the win.
Yeah.
He said that his battery was dead. So that's why I was able to catch him so easily and pass him on the end of the straightaway. I watched the replay, and
he had plenty of power.
His car was still
watching.
His car was still pretty fast. So I don't know.
I watched that race from the driver's stand.
Yeah.
He had plenty of power.
So
Emerson, your battery is not dead. No way. No way.
So I snuck out another TQ and a win. I'm glad Emerson got second because he basically can't afford to do bad in four-wheel drive now either because his first round was so terrible. He was in the C main.
Mm-hmm.
So that's might as well be a 0, you know. So that was pretty fun though. I mean, racing my son in this class, we knew it was when I got him his four-wheel drive for Christmas. We kind of knew that we were going to be on each other's tail the whole time, you know.
Oh yeah,
and it's pretty fun. Honestly, it's pretty fun because, you know, if he hacks me, I mean, I can just like take his keys away or something for a week, you know.
Yeah, just ground him.
Yeah,
that's how we race in this house.
Yeah, exactly. And if I hack him, I don't really give a crap. I made him.
What are you gonna do, kid?
Yeah.
Move out if you don't like it.
Okay, so Caden Bairding finished third. Andrew Thomas, who got second last round, I do remember that, got fourth this time. Orlando Martinez probably should have finished third at one point because I remember hearing Orlando and I was like, wow, Orlando's doing really good. This is probably one of the best runs he's had up here. And then beside me and Emerson, because we're standing next to each other in driver's stand, I hear a whole lot of bickering up on the driver's stand. And I went back to watch the replay to kind of see what happened. And we probably need to do a better job of getting lap traffic out of the way. Because Orlando kind of got screwed by a lapper.
Yeah, I was the next race and I was watching the race from the driver's stand and I heard stuff going on, but I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And some of it is it's like, you know, you have kind of a skill set differential, right?
Yeah.
You know, where
there is.
Yeah.
And some of it's on the lap E because you do need to be a little patient in lap traffic, you know, but
right.
But that kind of sucked for Orlando. I feel bad, but he still got a fifth. But still, I mean, he probably could have easily gotten third if that wreck at that moment of time hadn't happened. So,
right.
Tom Smith finished sixth. Bradley Peterson got the bump and finished seventh. TJ was eighth. David Peevler got the bump, finished ninth, and Bender was 10th. So 4-wheel drive is pretty fun. Those two races being within a race of each other, that was probably some of the most fun I've had at a summer series in a long time. Like it's not that I don't have fun, but like there's fun and then there's fun. Like like racing's fun for me no matter what. But those two races and how they ended up finishing each in their own unique way was it was stock slash kind of fun instead of just competing. Driving RC cars kind of fun. It was just more fun, I guess.
Right.
Funner.
More funner.
I know it's not a word, but it was funner.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mod 2-wheel was our second to last race of the night, and Nick Gibson qualified third, but again, there was probably 6 of you guys, almost everybody in the main really could win this race. But Nick was your Pro Tech winner, I believe, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah. So, he qualified third, but I think they all were pretty close, if I remember right. Ended up taking the win. He led the last 3 laps.
Yeah.
So, just kind of hung in there. Mason Herrick finished second. Alex Vanderbeek got a TQ in a third. So again, I think this is a situation where the points are going to be all over the place. Owen Vanderbeek or Will, you got fourth, and that's after getting third in the first one.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, I think that sets you up pretty nicely for the rest of the year, chasing a podium finish.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Don't you think? And I think
so.
Yeah, the car. I mean, you weren't slow.
No. I just need to be in a better position later.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of made some mistakes. Like I never needed a marshal in the 8 minutes, but I still made some like the double quarter we were talking about earlier, where you could blow it. I blew it like 3 times in a row.
Oh yeah.
It was like, come on, Will. I was like literally up there, like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
But I think some of that is like when my car landed, it's like pushed out wide, and it's just because I made my car too comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Owen
But like the last round, like that thing, if I turn the wheel all the way, it'd spin out.
Right.
Like I need to make it faster.
Yeah. Owen Vanderbeek finished 5th, Drew 6th, Drew Rubin King, Tom Smith 7th, Mitchell Pavel 8th, Brian Burt 9th, and Riley Filbert 10th. Riley Filbert also had a very fast car too, so I know he popped a ball cup actually.
Yeah.
So that's our 3rd ball cup thing, I think, of the mains.
There was more than that.
There was more than that, but it was just weird. There was like a thing going around when it was a ball cup sort of day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, O'Reilly was right there. He was actually in second at one point before that happened. So that leaves us with Mini Truggy, and Emerson asked me if he could run my truck, and I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. So go ahead. Emerson ran 4 classes today or Saturday, that's tough, dude. But he had the day off, so he didn't have to work in the store. So I guess kind of made it happen. He got the TQ in a win. Pretty much led the whole way. Don Drews finished 2nd. Matt Robinson 3rd. John Haas from the 6 to the 4. Tyler Fleming, who's usually in the Mini Truggy A main, had to bump and finished 5th. Logan Prismanis finished 6th. Josh Havens was 7th. Sam White was 8th. Ronnie Went was 9th. And then Dane Gangler had to go for the night. So he wasn't in the main, but he got those A main points. So Emerson got one after a up and down day, I guess you could say. So not really going to talk about points because there's only 2 rounds. So we need 3 really to get the tiebreaker kind of thrown in there so we can kind of really evaluate how things are going. I want to go through the comments real quick and then we'll get done because we started late, but we're still going to, I don't want to take up too much of my weberized colleagues' time here.
Hold on.
What's your cat doing?
Never mind. Never mind.
Oh,
She's up.
oh,
My cat was laying next to me,
oh.
like being extra cute, and I was like, oh, photo op. But never mind.
Photo up.
She knew she was going to be on camera.
Cats know. I try to take pictures sometimes of Roxy and Finny when they're spooning,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, "Nope, no pictures." She gets up. She knows. She knows I'm trying to take a picture of him.
Yeah.
Jackson Anderson says it's hard to come by clean parts for the '07 Silverado without paying a lot, especially beds in Nebraska, because you have to you need to find one that's rust free.
Yeah, he knows. He
Yeah.
knows.
Mm-hmm.
He's on that Silverado life.
Yep.
At least was. I don't know.
I was gonna say something about it. I'm like, well, Emerson could probably change out that quarter panel for you, because he did it with his Dodge, dude. He went to pull it and he got a whole bunch of parts off other trucks and hodgepodged basically a whole bunch of new parts for his truck after he decided to try to drive it between two trees.
I get the estimate and I like have my neighbor pay for it and I have Emerson fix it.
I bet you Emerson would do it.
Yeah.
I know he would.
It'd be actually not a bad idea. I mean, I thought about just pushing it back out and massaging it back into place with some lead hammers and, old school bodywork stuff, a little rubbing compound and calling it a day. But I don't know if Emerson wants to do it. What the heck?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nuthouse says, do you want some fish fillets or some South Texas shrimp? I think I was talking about the fish stuff and not wanting to clean them. I'm always up for some fish fillets, man. I love me some good fish, but
we should go to Long John Silver sometime.
Oh, yeah, it's not the same. Gretchen's just one of those. She just does not want fish guts or fish anywhere near our house. She's kind of real. She's real weird about bugs. Like, and it's weird. She wasn't that way until something came in a box once, and I had the box out in. This is in our old house, and I had the box out in a garage, so our garage was separated from the house. And then I brought that box inside, and there were bugs in it. And then ever since that, she's kind of freaked out about bugs. Like for instance, okay, a couple weeks ago, took Gretchen fishing. All right, we went to a local pond that's a city pond, so it was nice, but you still had to kind of trounce through some tall grass. Well, she got a tick, and that was the end of that. So Gretchen was all like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll go fishing with you guys," and then she got one tick on her, and that's it. So now, whenever I go fishing, I get texts and phone calls and stuff. You need to make sure that you check for ticks and make sure you take a shower before you come in, or immediately when you walk in the house, and you're not getting to our bed unless you take a shower and blah 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 blah. So that's why I'm not allowed to clean fish at home. So probably a little bit more than you guys needed to know about my life, but whatever.
It's fine. I enjoy listening.
I'm an open book, so
yeah.
Let's see. We were talking about this whoops. Steve RC says that he loves the whoops. So I think what I'm gonna do for the J Concepts layout is I'm gonna take those whoops where they're at, and they're gonna shift to the left. So if you're on the driver's stand, the whoops are here. I think I'm gonna shift those to the left by one lane. So I think we're probably gonna have whoops for the INS race. Just like that, too. Like perfect, low, nothing too crazy style whoops.
Coming onto the straightaway?
Coming onto the straightaway. Yep. Yep. So just imagine where they're at. You just move it over to the other lane. Where the doubles at, actually, would be where they're at.
If you could get enough run up to them, like in Mod 4-wheel, you might be able to jump them all.
Yeah, but there won't be enough because right before where the whoops are is going to be an off-camber round turn.
Yeah, the old roundy turn.
It'll look like a teardrop.
Yeah.
And it'll be off camber.
That'd be cool.
Okay. So whoops we might have whoops for a little while. Steve RC also said we were talking about slicks. Anthony Santi and Steve both agreed that slicks are awesome.
Yeah,
So with all
they're
the
easy.
chatter out there, sometimes that you hear about not off road, blah 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 blah. I mean, I actually really like running slicks. It's better than what we were doing the last 5 years.
Yeah, we've
know.
been running slicks since the Chillicothe. You just
Yep.
gotta know when to use them. You know?
Exactly. Smoking Rats on here. He says,
Hey, Bill.
Hope you guys are all doing well.
Yeah.
Mark S has a question. What should the ride height be for associated trucks?
For the stock or for like a regular, T6.2.4, I would say, what did I run? It was like 23 to 24 in the rear and 24 to 25 in the front.
Yeah. That's
But
right.
I don't know what these kids are running these days. When you get the lower profile tires, I think that I ran as low as 20 to 22.
Yeah. And Brian Burnt's truck looks really low when I was watching it.
He has some other stuff going on that thing, but
Steve RC says Alexander, as a son, is starting to figure things out. He was coaching him on how to handle parts of the track. So that's
nice.
pretty funny. Smoking Rat wanted to know what the difference is between 17.5 buggy and independent buggy. Well, I should say expert. 17.5 buggy. It's basically if you have any sponsors, you have to run expert. If you don't have any sponsors at all, you can run either or both. I don't really care. I made a rule in Techno Series that if you run Sportsman, you can't run expert and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Or not vice versa. Basically, I was allowing the Sportsman guys to also race expert, but boy, that was making the day long. We were having tons of entries, which is great. But now
yeah, literally double the entries.
Yeah, so I had to make that rule so that our day couldn't maybe get a little shorter. But here in the summer series, it hasn't been a problem. So and there's not many people that take me up on it anyway. So
yeah.
But basically, if you're sponsored by, I don't know,
Bill's Basement Discount Screws.
Yeah, then you got to run expert.
Yeah.
Smoking Rat, Manscaped sponsorship. When? Because we're talking about polishing our balls.
Oh yeah. We need one of those.
Yeah. How often you polish your ball studs? Do you reapply thread lock? And how many times can you apply thread lock?
You can apply thread lock all the time.
Yeah.
I only apply thread lock to anything made
metal.
it into a metal surface. If you thread lock into plastic, it'll actually deteriorate the plastic.
See, I'm not obviously I'm not an engineer, but I do know that.
Mm-hmm. It'll make it so it doesn't hold, or it'll make it so the threads just strip out.
Yeah.
If you put it into plastic. The only thread lock that I put on any ball studs. I'll grab my sprint cars. I got my sprint car right here. Are these inner ones right here, like the inner ball studs that thread into that nut that goes into the C hub. That's the only place that I put any thread lock ever. And honestly, on my stadium truck, I'd CA glue those in. Like I put CA glue on the ball stud into the nut. Like not to hold the nut in, but to hold the threads together.
Right. I have on the after hours show, I've shown people I use a little bit of thread lock in anything metal on metal. So like my my associated bell cranks, when I have metal rear hubs, I'll put a tiny in the inner ball stud mount. Yeah. I'll just push a little bit of thread lock on the table, and I'll just barely dip the ball stud in it.
And it doesn't take much.
It does, and you can't put too much in there because you'll never get it out, and you'll strip it.
Yeah.
So, if
you do have a strip screw or ball stud that has Loctite on it, and it's in something metal, I've like the way to get that out is to hold a soldering iron onto the screw or the ball stud or whatever it is, and it'll heat that whole thing up and it'll break down that Loctite and you can get it apart.
Yep.
That's just something I've learned and I've always done.
So yeah. So there you go. Good question. That's about it.
Yeah.
Everybody else can read the chat, so I don't want to keep my brother-in-law and sister here too much longer, so.
Does Peter Renault still watch?
Yeah, he was on here.
Nice.
Yeah, we had Steve, Riley, Travis, Anthony, Jackson, Nick, Nuthouse, Peter, Bill.
At one time, Peter said he was coming up here for a race or come up here to just practice at the track. I don't know if he ever came up or not.
No, I would have known that.
Yeah.
Mark Schmidt was on here. These are the guys that are in the chat at least. John
Hell
Haas was on there. Ben Dinger,
How you
Jesse
doing, Mark?
Baker. So, yeah. But there you go. I wanted to cover. Obviously, we want to do the show after the summer series, so it's still fresh in our minds and all that. I think the next one will probably be. Do you want to do it after the INS race, or do you want to give it a week?
Let's give it a week. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of nice having that extra day off. Like
it is.
We're gonna be there late on. I'm gonna be there late on Sunday, so it's kind of nice having that whole Monday to just sort of do whatever I want to do. So, Peter says won't be this summer. Probably winter, maybe.
Ooh,
the e-buggy.
Okay.
So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. Okay, well, there you go. I just realized now that we didn't do an official intro with me talking, but we got the cool intro now. We also have a cool outro. See?
Oh yeah, right here.
Right there. That's the cue.
That's
just
funny.
like, all right, it's time to go.
All right.
All right. I'll see you guys later.
See you guys. Thanks for watching. All 10 of you, whatever.